Do you start your morning with an egg thinking it's one of the healthiest choices you can make? You're not alone. For decades, eggs have been praised as nature's perfect food. Doctors love them for their complete protein and essential vitamins. Nutrition experts call them the gold standard for muscle recovery. And many people over 50 eat eggs every day, believing they're the secret to lasting strength, sharp memory, and steady energy. Inside every egg lies choline, a nutrient that supports brain and memory health, and lutein, proven by Harvard researchers to protect your vision from age-related decline. Add in vitamin D, B12, and high-quality protein, and you've got a food that can truly support your muscles and longevity. But here's the surprising part. Despite all those benefits, most people over 50 aren't getting the full advantages of eggs. A few small mistakes in how you cook, store, or even time your eggs can quietly raise cholesterol, damage your nerves, or increase your risk of infections like salmonella. Imagine thinking you're having a healthy breakfast, but because you fry eggs at high heat or skip the yolk, you're actually harming your health without realizing it. That's why today we're uncovering 7 common mistakes seniors make when eating eggs, and more importantly, how to fix them, so your eggs can keep working as natural medicine, not a hidden toxin. If you love eggs or simply want to make the most of this incredible food to boost your brain, heart, and longevity, stay with us until the end. Slide 17. Before we dive in, do us a quick favor, hit the like button to support our channel and subscribe to Healthy Aging 247 for more science-based health tips made especially for people over 60. Mistake number 1, eating raw or undercooked eggs. You've probably seen it in old movies or fitness videos. Someone cracks a few eggs straight into a glass and drinks them down. It seems natural, even healthy, but for older adults, this habit can be far more dangerous than it looks. Raw or runny eggs can quietly open the door to serious infections and nutrient deficiencies that most people never see coming. The biggest threat, salmonella. These bacteria can hide inside even the cleanest-looking egg. For a younger, stronger immune system, a salmonella infection might mean a few miserable days of nausea, cramps, and diarrhea. But after age 60, when immunity naturally weakens, it can lead to severe dehydration, bloodstream infections, or even sepsis, a life-threatening condition. According to the CDC, older adults face the highest rates of hospitalization and death linked to salmonella each year. Raw egg whites also contain a protein called avidin, which stays fully active when uncooked. Avidin binds to biotin, one of the key vitamins your body needs to protect nerve function, maintain steady energy, and support clear thinking. Once avidin locks onto biotin, your body can't absorb it. The result? Subtle but harmful deficiencies that chip away at your vitality over time. Cooking eggs deactivates avidin completely, but eating them raw gives it full power to drain your system. And here's what many people don't realize: raw egg proteins can disrupt the delicate balance of good bacteria in your gut. That gut balance is directly connected to your immune system, mental clarity, and even mood stability. For seniors whose gut health is already more sensitive, this imbalance can worsen fatigue, brain fog, and even the risk of chronic illness. Take Linda Carter, age 76, from California. For years, she started every morning with what she called her energy booster, 2 raw eggs blended into a glass of milk. She believed it kept her strong and full of life. But one morning, Linda woke up with sharp abdominal pain, vomiting, and a high fever. At the hospital, doctors diagnosed severe salmonella poisoning that had quickly escalated to sepsis. She spent several weeks in intensive care and months recovering from weakness and gut imbalance. What she thought was a healthy morning habit nearly cost her life. So how can you enjoy eggs safely? The rules are simple. Always cook your eggs thoroughly. Yolks and whites should be firm, never runny. Boil them for 9 to 12 minutes until the center is solid. Avoid raw egg recipes like homemade mayonnaise, Caesar dressing, or desserts such as tiramisu or mousse, unless you're using pasteurized eggs. Check freshness, avoid cracked shells, and store eggs in the refrigerator for no more than 2 weeks. And don't forget to wash your hands after handling raw eggs. Bacteria can live on the shell. For older adults, cooking eggs properly can be the difference between a meal that builds your strength and one that silently attacks your health. Remember, eggs truly are one of nature's best foods, but only when prepared the right way. Mistake number 2, ignoring egg allergies, a risk that can turn deadly in minutes. Eggs are a staple breakfast for millions, simple, versatile, and packed with high-quality protein. But for some individuals, eggs can trigger a serious immune reaction known as anaphylaxis. Imagine starting your usual morning omelet, then suddenly feeling your throat tighten, your lips swell, and your chest constrict. Your heart races, your blood pressure drops, and you may feel dizzy or faint. In those critical moments, every second counts, and without immediate treatment, the reaction can be fatal. An egg allergy occurs when the immune system mistakes proteins in the egg, typically found in the whites, as harmful invaders. This triggers a surge of chemicals in the body, causing hives, swelling, difficulty breathing, or even a sudden drop in blood pressure. Severe reactions can escalate rapidly. The Mayo Clinic and Cleveland Clinic report that eggs are among the most common triggers for life-threatening allergic reactions in both children and adults. While egg allergies are often associated with childhood, they can persist into adulthood or even appear for the first time later in life. Adult-onset egg allergies, although less common, can be particularly severe. Older adults may experience more intense reactions due to other health conditions or medications, and sometimes mild symptoms like a small rash or stomach upset can quickly escalate to full-blown anaphylaxis if unnoticed. Consider James Reynolds, age 68, from Ohio. He had eaten eggs for decades with no issues. One morning, he tried a new omelet at a cafe, and within minutes his lips began to swell, his throat tightened, and he struggled to breathe. Feeling dizzy, he realized something was seriously wrong. A friend called 911 and paramedics administered epinephrine in time to stabilize him. What seemed like an ordinary breakfast almost became a life-threatening event. James's story illustrates how allergies can appear suddenly even after decades of eating eggs without issue. So what can you do to stay safe? First, be aware of subtle warning signs: tingling lips, mild swelling, itching, or digestive discomfort may signal a reaction. Always read labels carefully. Eggs can hide in baked goods, sauces, dressings, and processed foods. If you suspect an allergy, consult an allergist for testing and guidance. Carrying an epinephrine auto-injector can save your life, and learning how to use it properly is essential. Eggs remain one of nature's most complete and nourishing foods, packed with protein, vitamins, and minerals. But for anyone with a known or potential allergy, even one bite can become dangerous. Respecting your body's signals and taking precautions is critical, because knowing your risk can make the difference between a nutritious meal and a sudden life-threatening emergency. Mistake number 3, eating eggs too early in the morning. Many older adults follow the same breakfast routine for years. Wake up at dawn, start the coffee, and fry a couple of eggs. It feels wholesome and energizing, almost like the perfect start to the day. But here's the surprising truth: the timing of your egg consumption can dramatically affect how your body handles them. Between 600 and 800 a.m., your body naturally produces its peak levels of cortisol, often called the stress hormone. Cortisol isn't all bad. It helps you wake up, manage blood sugar, and get ready for the day. However, research shows that it also signals the liver to produce more cholesterol, Harvard Health Publishing 2022. Now imagine pairing these elevated cortisol levels with a plate of fried eggs. That's a double surge in cholesterol at the very moment your liver is least able to metabolize it efficiently. For seniors whose liver function and fat metabolism naturally decline with age, this combination can lead to higher LDL cholesterol, clogged arteries, and increased risk of heart attack or stroke. Timing isn't the only concern. In the early morning, the digestive system is still sleeping. Stomach acid and digestive enzymes are at low levels after a night of rest, making it harder to break down protein-heavy foods like eggs. Instead of fueling your body, those early eggs may leave you bloated, sluggish, or suffering from acid reflux. Consider the case of Ms. Eleanor Hayes, 74, a retired schoolteacher from New York. For decades, she started every day with 2 fried eggs and sausage, believing it strengthened her heart and muscles. One morning, she suddenly experienced severe chest pain and dizziness. At the hospital, tests revealed an acute myocardial infarction and cholesterol levels twice the recommended range. Her physician identified the hidden culprit. Early morning eggs combined with peak cortisol levels had silently pushed her cholesterol dangerously high. So what's the solution? Research indicates the best window for egg consumption is between 2:30 and 4:30 p.m. When cortisol levels have dropped, digestion is fully active, and the liver handles cholesterol more efficiently. Pairing eggs with fiber-rich vegetables like spinach or broccoli further reduces cholesterol absorption. Journal of Nutrition, 2021. Avoid eating eggs right before bedtime as protein digestion demands energy and can interfere with the body's nighttime recovery. Eggs remain a nutrient powerhouse, but when eaten at the wrong time, they can quietly undermine your health. Adjusting your schedule might seem minor, but for seniors, it can help lower cholesterol, improve digestion, and protect heart health. Timing truly transforms eggs from a hidden risk into a heart-protective food. Mistake number 4. Consuming too much cholesterol, a hidden risk to your heart. Eggs are undeniably one of nature's most nutrient-dense foods, packed with high-quality protein, vitamins, and minerals. But when eaten in excess, especially alongside other cholesterol and saturated fat-rich foods like bacon, cheese, buttered toast, or creamy sauces, they can quietly raise your LDL cholesterol, the bad cholesterol responsible for plaque buildup in arteries. Over time, this can increase your risk of atherosclerosis, heart attacks, strokes, and other serious cardiovascular events. You might wonder, just a few eggs, really can that be dangerous? The truth is, quantity and context matter more than most people realize. Research published in the Journal of the American Medical Association, JAMA 2019, found that each additional 300 milligrams of dietary cholesterol per day, roughly the amount in 2 large eggs, was associated with a measurable increase in heart disease risk and overall mortality. For older adults, whose cardiovascular risk naturally rises with age, repeated high cholesterol meals can quietly stress the heart even without any immediate symptoms. Consider George Wilson, 72, a retired architect from Texas. George loved his breakfast ritual, 3 fried eggs with cheese, sausage, and buttered toast nearly every morning. He felt energetic and healthy, so he never questioned it. But during a routine checkup, his doctor noticed his LDL cholesterol was significantly elevated, and arterial scans revealed early plaque formation. What seemed like an innocent breakfast habit had quietly been putting his heart under pressure for years. George adjusted his diet, limiting eggs to one per day and pairing them with fiber-rich vegetables like spinach or avocado. Within months, his cholesterol levels improved, and follow-up scans showed no further progression of arterial plaque. The lesson is clear: eggs themselves aren't the enemy. Moderation is key, and pairing eggs with high-fiber, heart-friendly foods can make a significant difference. Instead of 3 eggs fried with buttered bacon, consider 1 poached egg with sautéed vegetables or a vegetable omelet. These small adjustments can help your body process cholesterol more efficiently, maintain healthy arteries, and reduce long-term cardiovascular risk. Mistake number 5, eating only egg whites on an empty stomach. For decades, many older adults have been told that the healthiest way to enjoy eggs is to toss the yolk and stick to the whites. Less cholesterol, more protein, simple, right? But here's the hidden danger. Consuming only egg whites, particularly first thing in the morning on an empty stomach, can quietly undermine your nervous system, digestion, and even brain health. The culprit is a protein in egg whites called avidin. Avidin binds tightly to vitamin B7, also known as biotin. Biotin is far from optional. It plays a vital role in nerve function, energy production, and cognitive protection as we age. When avidin latches onto biotin, your body cannot absorb this essential vitamin. Over time, this deficiency can escalate in subtle yet dangerous ways. Early signs may appear as unusual fatigue, brittle nails, or mild tingling in your fingers and toes. If left unchecked, seniors may experience severe nerve damage, muscle weakness, and cognitive decline. Doctors have even documented cases where older adults develop numbness in their hands and feet, so pronounced that simple tasks like buttoning a shirt or holding a fork become challenging. The timing of egg consumption makes a difference. Eating egg whites on an empty stomach exposes them to peak stomach acidity, which supercharges avidin's effect, blocking even more biotin than if you had eaten eggs alongside a meal. By discarding the yolk, you're also losing vital nutrients that safeguard your eyes, heart, and brain. Egg yolks are rich in lecithin, essential for memory and focus, omega-3 fatty acids critical for heart and joint health, and antioxidants such as lutein and zeaxanthin, which help protect against age-related vision loss. Together, yolk and white form a balanced package designed by nature to be eaten as a whole. The solution is straightforward, yet powerful. Always eat the yolk with the white. Pair eggs with whole-grain toast vegetables or a handful of greens to neutralize avidin's effects, slow cholesterol absorption, and stabilize blood sugar. Stick to moderation. Around 5 to 7 whole eggs per week is safe and beneficial for most older adults. One small habit change, eating the entire egg yolk included, could protect your nerves, enhance memory, and keep muscles strong well into your 80s and 90s. It's a reminder that sometimes the healthiest choices are the simplest ones. Respect nature's design and enjoy your eggs as they were meant to be eaten. Mistake number 6, mixing eggs with medications. For many older adults, mornings begin with 2 familiar companions, a plate of eggs and a handful of pills. It seems harmless, even practical, to wash down your medications with breakfast. But here's the hidden danger. Eggs, despite being highly nutritious, can quietly interfere with how certain drugs function in your body, sometimes with life-threatening consequences. Let's break it down. First, blood thinners such as warfarin. Egg yolks are naturally rich in vitamin K, a nutrient essential for blood clotting. But if you're taking a blood thinner to prevent clots suddenly increasing or decreasing, your egg intake can upset a delicate balance. The result: Your medication may not work properly, leaving you at risk for internal bleeding or dangerous clots. Research shows that dietary vitamin K fluctuations can significantly affect INR levels in warfarin users. Second, antibiotics like tetracyclines or quinolones. Eggs contain minerals such as calcium, magnesium, and iron, excellent for general health. But when these minerals bind to certain antibiotics, they form insoluble complexes that your gut cannot absorb. That means your infection-fighting medication could work at only half its strength, prolonging illness and potentially contributing to antibiotic resistance. Third, iron supplements. Many seniors are unaware that proteins in egg whites can bind supplemental iron in the digestive tract. Instead of absorbing the iron your body needs to combat fatigue and anemia, much of it passes unused. Over time, this can worsen weakness, shortness of breath, and even increase the risk of falls. Consider Mr. Leonard Harper, 82, from Ohio. After a minor stroke, he was prescribed warfarin and carefully monitored by his doctors. Leonard loved his morning ritual, 2 sunny side-up eggs with toast. Encouraged to eat more protein, he began adding extra eggs daily. Within 2 weeks, he suffered a sudden brain hemorrhage and was rushed to the ER. The culprit, elevated vitamin K from eggs, had undermined the warfarin's protective effects. A seemingly small dietary change nearly cost him his life. The solution isn't giving up eggs, it's timing. Leave at least 2 hours between eating eggs and taking most medications, and up to 4 hours for sensitive drugs, such as thyroid medications. For those on warfarin or other blood thinners, maintain a consistent egg intake and discuss your diet with your physician. With antibiotics, follow instructions carefully. Some must be taken on an empty stomach away from eggs or dairy. Always consult your pharmacist about potential food-drug interactions. Eggs remain one of the most nutrient-dense foods for older adults, but if paired incorrectly with medications, they can sabotage their benefits. For seniors, juggling multiple prescriptions, understanding these hidden interactions could be the difference between healing and harm. Mistake number 7, cooking eggs in high-temperature oil. For many older adults, nothing feels more comforting than the smell of eggs sizzling in a hot pan, crispy edges, golden yolks, and that familiar breakfast aroma. It's a ritual that millions have enjoyed for decades. But here's the uncomfortable truth: cooking eggs in very hot oil can strip away their nutrients and create hidden dangers that quietly undermine your health. Eggs are delicate foods. Their proteins and beneficial compounds are highly sensitive to heat. When exposed to temperatures above 212 degrees 100 degrees, the proteins denature and harden, making them harder to digest. Seniors whose digestive efficiency naturally declines with age can feel the burden even more, often experiencing bloating, indigestion, or loss of appetite after a heavy fried egg breakfast. When oil is overheated beyond its smoke point, it produces harmful compounds including acrolein and aldehydes. These toxic byproducts irritate the stomach lining and trigger systemic inflammation and oxidative stress. Over time, this can accelerate aging, weaken immunity, and increase the risk of cardiovascular disease. High heat also destroys choline, one of the yolk's most valuable nutrients. Choline is essential for brain health, memory, and slowing cognitive decline. Seniors who lose out on this nutrient may experience faster progression of memory issues, brain fog, or even dementia. Essentially, cooking eggs the wrong way can rob them of their very compounds that support mental clarity and longevity. Consider the case of Mrs. Jane Smith, 84. She loved her fried eggs crisped to perfection in hot oil every morning. Over time, she developed severe heartburn, a loss of appetite, and unintentional weight loss. Her doctors initially suspected gastritis or ulcers, but after reviewing her diet, it became clear that daily consumption of eggs fried in overheated oil was aggravating her digestive system and depleting key nutrients. Switching to soft-boiled and steamed eggs eased her symptoms and helped her regain strength. So what's the safer approach? Boil eggs gently in water for 9 to 12 minutes to preserve protein digestibility and nutrient integrity. Steamed or poached eggs are excellent alternatives, avoiding oil entirely. If you prefer using oil, stick to heart-healthy options like olive oil and cook on low to medium heat. Enhance flavor naturally with anti-inflammatory herbs like turmeric, black pepper, or parsley. Eggs should act as medicine for your body, not a hidden toxin. For seniors, making this simple adjustment can transform eggs from a potential digestive stressor into a daily source of nourishment and vitality. Conclusion: eggs are truly one of nature's most complete foods, packed with high-quality protein, essential vitamins, minerals, and brain-protecting nutrients like choline and lutein. But as we've uncovered today, how you prepare and eat them can turn these nutritional powerhouses into either a health-boosting ally or a slow-moving toxin. Let's reflect on the 7 common mistakes we explored. Eating only egg whites on an empty stomach, which can deprive your nervous system and brain of critical biotin. Consuming raw or undercooked eggs, raising the risk of infections and gut imbalance. Pairing eggs with the wrong medications, potentially causing dangerous interactions. Eating eggs at the wrong time of day when cholesterol synthesis peaks. Cooking eggs in overheated oil, which destroys delicate nutrients and creates toxic compounds. Overcooking or boiling eggs, improperly reducing digestibility and nutrient availability. And combining eggs with certain supplements or minerals at the wrong timing, which can interfere with absorption. Individually, these errors might seem minor, but together, they can quietly undermine your strength, memory, and independence after age 50. And here's the encouraging part: they're all highly preventable. By making simple adjustments, such as eating the yolk and white together, cooking eggs, gently timing your meals wisely, and pairing them thoughtfully with medications or supplements, you can transform every egg on your plate into a superfood that supports your heart muscles, brain, and digestive system. Evidence from nutritional science confirms that such mindful eating habits can enhance cognitive performance, maintain muscle mass, and improve cardiovascular health in older adults. Now I want to hear from you. How do you usually prepare your eggs? Do you notice any of these mistakes in your own kitchen? Which small change will you start tomorrow? Boiling timing differently, or pairing with vegetables? Share your thoughts in the comments. Your experience might inspire another senior to take control of their health. Subscribe to Healthy Aging 247. Hit the like button and share this video with friends or loved ones. Living longer is important, but living stronger, sharper, and more independent every single day is priceless.